Hello everyone, I'm Sukanya Roy, and once again I welcome you all to the HS first year online biology classes. So we are going to start with the part 6 or the 6th lecture of the chapter Cell, the unit of life. So here in today's lecture we are going to study about two very basic and important cell organelles. Okay, so the first one we will study is endoplasmic reticulum, and the second one is about Golgi apparatus. So let's start with the endoplasmic reticulum. So it's a very important cell organelle which constitutes of a network of tubules. Okay, and the endoplasmic reticulum is present in a very close proximity to the nucleus, that is, it is present near the nucleus. Okay, sometimes the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum is fused with the nuclear membrane. So there are actually two main types of endoplasmic reticulum. They are rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, that is RER and SER. So what is rough endoplasmic reticulum? It is a type of endoplasmic reticulum where the external surface consists of ribosomes, okay, making the external surface a bit rough in appearance, and so it is termed as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now, what is smooth endoplasmic reticulum? It is that type of endoplasmic reticulum where there is no ribosomes attached on the external surface, as a result of which the external surface appears to be very smooth, and so it is termed as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So here's a diagram. You can see that. Can you see the nucleus is present here, and the endoplasmic reticulum, this entire structure is the endoplasmic reticulum, which is present just like in a very close proximity with the nucleus, right? Now you can see here rough endoplasmic reticulum is that type of endoplasmic reticulum where the outer or the external surface consists of ribosomes. Can you see here the red dots are there? So these are nothing but the granule-like structures are here, the ribosomes, which when present on the external surface of endoplasmic reticulum, it is termed as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? Now you can see here the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is depicted where there is no ribosomes attached to the external surface. Can you see it is clean, right? So here there is no ribosome attached to the outer surface or the external surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, making the surface very smooth in appearance. So it is termed as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Are you clear? Okay. Now let's move to the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. So the structure of endoplasmic reticulum consists of three main forms. Okay, the first one you can see here is the cisternae, then vesicles, and then tubules. So what is cisternae? These are long, flattened, sac-like structures which remain arranged in parallel bundles. So here you can see the diagram. Can you see this structure? Then all of this long, elongated and flat structures are termed as cisternae, and they are parallel in appearance with each other. Can you see? All of these are the cisternae. Clear? Then the next part is termed as vesicles. These are nothing but some oval or like globular in shape, some vacuolar structures. Can you see here this one and this? Here you can see one vesicle is just on the verge of being formed, and here it is formed, right? So these are oval shaped structures, okay, which are just formed or pinched off from the endoplasmic reticulum here. So these are generally present abundantly in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? Next, the third part is tubules. You can see here some tube-like structures are there, right, interconnected with each other. So these are the tubular structures of the endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So that means the endoplasmic reticulum has its structure consisting of three important forms: cisternae, which are the flat structures. Can you see these ones? Okay. Then the tubules are the long, elongated tube-like structures, right? And the vesicles are the globular or oval shaped structures which are which generally are used to transport different types of proteins formed inside the endoplasmic reticulum towards the Golgi. Clear? And the space within the cisternae is termed as endoplasmic reticulum lumen. Clear? So let's now move to the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. So the endoplasmic reticulum is of two types, already we have seen, right? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So the functions played by each of them are a bit different. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is mainly associated with the synthesis of proteins. And why is it so? Because the rough endoplasmic reticulum consists of important structures termed as ribosomes, and the ribosomes are nothing but the sites where the proteins are being synthesized within our cell. And as the ribosomes are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, so they help to synthesize protein. Clear? Next, the endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the production and secretion of different types of steroid hormones. Okay, so these are the hormones which are derived from the lipid, or these are the lipid derivative hormones. Okay, which are generally produced and secreted from the endoplasmic reticulum. Next, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum mainly is responsible for the synthesis of essential lipids such as phospholipids and cholesterol. So all of you know by now that the cell membrane and all the membranes of the different cell organelles present within our cell are made up of a very important type of lipid termed as phospholipids, right? In the form of a phospholipid bilayer. So here you can see that the phospholipids are actually formed, that is synthesized within the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? Next, the endoplasmic reticulum is also responsible for the metabolism of carbohydrates. Clear? That is, the proper metabolism of the important biomolecules, that is carbohydrates, is also done within the endoplasmic reticulum. The last point here is endoplasmic reticulum releases a very essential type of ions termed as calcium ions, which is very important for the different types of metabolic activities present within our body. And so here you can see that endoplasmic reticulum releases calcium ions, which are in turn necessary for the proper working of our nervous system and muscular system. So these are the different important functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Please try to remember each of them. Clear? Next, let's move to the next type of cell organelle. Okay, so it is termed as Golgi apparatus. So the Golgi apparatus is also sometimes named as Golgi bodies or Golgi complex. Clear? So the Golgi apparatus was first observed by an Italian biologist named as Camillo Golgi in the year 1898. Please remember this. Okay, and it is located in the cytoplasm next to the endoplasmic reticulum and the nucleus. So all of you have seen the exact position of endoplasmic reticulum, right? Just beside the nucleus. So the Golgi is actually present in an area of the cytoplasm of the cell just beside the endoplasmic reticulum. So here's a diagram which represents the Golgi apparatus, and you can see it looks like this, and we will study about all the important parts present in the Golgi body in details in our next slides. Clear? So here is the structure of Golgi apparatus, which typically consists of some interconnecting parts named as tubules, vesicles, and cisternae, just like the parts we have seen in case of endoplasmic reticulum. Here in case of Golgi apparatus also, it consists of three main parts: cisternae, tubules, and vesicles, which are interconnected with each other. So here in the diagram you can see that some flat structures are present, right, parallel to each other. So these are nothing but the cisternae, and the space within each of the cisternae, you can see here the blue colored shown, the space inside of each of the cisternae in case of Golgi apparatus is also termed as lumen. Clear? Now, if we consider the entire Golgi apparatus, then it's seen that it is divided into two portions. Okay, this portion is termed as the cis phase. Okay, and this portion is termed as the trans phase. So the cis phase is also termed as the forming phase, while the trans phase is also termed as the maturing phase. So what happens is the different proteins which are actually produced by the endoplasmic reticulums, they enter the Golgi apparatus, and there inside the Golgi apparatus they are modified, packed, and then they are ultimately released or secreted from the Golgi, okay, for their different functions at the particular sites. Clear? Now, when the proteins which are being synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum, they enter the Golgi apparatus, they will enter through the cis phase. Clear? After that, they will be matured here inside the cisternae. Okay, the proteins will be matured, packed, and sorted, and ultimately they will be the matured proteins, that or the developed proteins will be ultimately released outside the Golgi apparatus from the trans or the maturing phase. Am I clear to all of you? Okay. Now the next is the tubules. They form a complicated network towards the periphery. So at the peripheral region, that is at the almost outer region of each of the cisternae, there are some interconnected tube-like structures. They are termed as tubules. Okay. So you can see here the tubules interconnect the different cisternae. So each of the tubules actually interconnect the cistern. Clear? Here it is not visible properly, but all the cisternaes are connected with each other with the help of some tube-like structures, and they are termed as tubules. Right? The next is the vesicles. So these are very small sac-like structures. Okay, they have almost 20 to 80 nanometer in diameter, and they are generally attached to the tip of the tubules. Okay, can you see this? Circular structures or oval shaped structures, these are nothing but the secretory vesicles. The vesicles inside of which the proteins are actually packed, and ultimately these vesicles take the proteins outside the trans phase of the Golgi apparatus. Am I clear? So the Golgi apparatus can be divided into three main parts. The first one is cisternae, the second one is tubules, and third one is vesicles. So what is cisternae? Cisternae is the flat plate-like structures, okay, which are arranged in a parallel fashion in the Golgi apparatus, and the space within each of the cisternae is termed as the lumen. Next, the entire Golgi apparatus can be divided into two phases. One is cis phase or forming phase, and the other one is trans phase or maturing phase. So what is the cis phase? This is that area or portion of the Golgi apparatus where where the proteins actually enters the Golgi apparatus. Clear? And the point or the phase through which the proteins are actually having their exit from the Golgi apparatus is termed as the trans phase. Clear? So what are tubules? Tubules are the tube-like structures which connect each of the cisternae. And what are vesicles? These are the oval-shaped structures which actually are present, and inside of which the proteins are packed, and they ultimately leave the Golgi apparatus. So now, as already we have discussed about the structure of Golgi apparatus, hope it's clear to all of you. So now let's move to the major functions which are played by the Golgi apparatus within the eukaryotic cells. Clear? So at the very beginning, you must know that the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi bodies are termed as the secretory vesicle of the cell. Okay, that means what? They are actually those essential cell organelles which are responsible to secrete the important chemicals and proteins within the cell from one place to the other, and also they help to transport the different types of chemicals including the proteins from inside the cell towards outside packed within the vesicles. Okay, so the Golgi apparatus is termed as the secretory vesicle of the cell. Okay. Next, see, Golgi apparatus is the major site of synthesis of carbohydrates. Now, this is a very important point. You people should have the idea that the carbohydrates are synthesized within the Golgi apparatus. That is, it is the main site, okay, or the place of synthesis of carbohydrates. Clear? Next, the Golgi is responsible for the packaging, modifying and transporting the different types of proteins and lipids into vesicles for delivery to targeted destinations. Now, already we have discussed that the endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for synthesizing the proteins with the help of ribosomes, right? That is, ribosomes are the sites of protein synthesis, all of us know that. So, as the ribosomes are means like they remain attached to the outer surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, these ribosomes act as the sites of protein synthesis in the endoplasmic reticulum, right? That means that mainly the RER, that is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, is responsible for synthesizing proteins. But these proteins are not matured just after their formation. Okay, for this they have to be transported inside the Golgi apparatus. And what does the Golgi do? They help in the modification, then your packaging, sorting, and ultimately the transport of these proteins towards the outside of the cell by packing them inside the vesicles. Clear? So, it is one of the most important functions of Golgi. Okay, and means like that it is responsible for the packaging, modification, and ultimately the transporting of the proteins through the maturing phase or the trans phase of Golgi. Okay. Next, these are those organelles where newly synthesized proteins are transferred from the endoplasmic reticulum and temporarily stored there. Now, this already we have discussed that the endoplasmic reticulums, which actually synthesizes the proteins, they are like not matured at the very beginning, just as they are produced. So, for their maturation and proper packaging and sorting, they have to be transferred to Golgi, where they are stored temporarily, and ultimately when they gets matured and packed well, then they are transported from the Golgi itself. Clear? Next, they are also involved in the transport of lipid molecules around the cell. That means the lipid molecules which are synthesized by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, those are also transferred inside the Golgi apparatus, where what happens, they they are stored there temporarily and ultimately they are transported, because the lipid molecules are transported from within the Golgi towards outside of the Golgi, and then from one place, one part of the cell to the other. Clear? The next is, it also helps in the creation of proteoglycans. Now, what is proteoglycans? These are nothing but those proteins which have been glycosylated. That means the proteins where some carbohydrate molecules have been attached. Such type of molecules are termed as proteoglycans. So, Golgi apparatus also helps in the creation of molecules termed as proteoglycans. So there are several more important functions of Golgi, but these few are the most important ones. Try to remember all of this. Clear? So thank you all of you. That's all for today's class. We will continue in our next lecture. Thank you everyone.